the Pequod Conventions. It's 4 P's. That all mean think about post-production as you make decisions during production. So you do pre-post-production production. Okay? Yeah, pay attention. You say, look, you do things in little bits, and you either say yes or no for the most part. I mean, sometimes a little bit of editing can be helpful, but any kind of post-production work tends to take a lot of time. So in 21st century media, where we're not so much thinking along the 20th century lines of you gotta get people to buy your movie. You gotta get them to go to a theater and see amazing things on a big screen. Have them feel the sound and see things that are impossible to make without computer aided graphics or incredible special effects or whatever. And there's a place for that. But that's not the majority of why we would use a medium that allows our bodies and our faces and our voices, our movements, all to be conveyed. There's a lot of reasons that we would like to be able to tell people something directly. Maybe it takes a little time. Maybe kind of work through something. Maybe you feel the person that you're talking to needs some time, and so you're going to figure out how to do it in such a way. Frequently writing, we think of those same things. Writing a letter, and you really want to get to a point. Which you wouldn't want to start off saying, "Dear John, I don't ever want to see you again." That's what I guess a Dear John letter is, right? You want to say, "Dear John, how is everything? Blah 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 blah. Oh, by the way, there are these things coming up, and I don't really want to tell you I think you're a loser. So I'll say something else, and I'll make it all clear so that by the time I come out and say I don't ever want to see you again, you already know what I'm about to say, and then I don't have to even say it that bluntly. I can be a little nice about it, and that's how a nice letter goes, Sometimes we have to break bad news. One of those awful phone calls from someplace. People whose family, they have family in the military. Ooh, a telephone call in the middle of the night. You better hope you don't happen to have a phone number that's, similar to the nearest, to some 900 number where people go, call to have phone sex or something. Well, is this the number for phone sex? Oh my God. Okay, that's okay. No, we're not the number for phone sex. Thank God you're not my son's or daughter's commanding officer. I'm glad you're not that person. You gave me a heart attack, calling me in the middle of the night. And it turns out all you want is phone sex. Anyway, communication, well, it's certainly a lot. It's for much more than somebody making a buck off of somebody else consuming like some kind of media, like here's some kind of communication, something. It's musical, it's theatrical, whatever. There's story, there's comedy, whatever it is. There's more to any of that than this thing that tends to drive everything in the media field, which is, how could you get your media out to so many people that you can, get paid, a penny per hit and become rich, that sort of thing, that model. And it definitely exists. There are all sorts of possibilities for, asking a lot of people for something for very little, and that could be enough to run an organization, a not-for-profit organization, for example. Who's good at telling people, please, we don't need a lot from you, but each of you, send us $1, whatever, that we could do it. We can, if we have 1 million people sending us a buck, you know, we'd rather that than 10 people giving 100 grand each. It's much better that way for everybody. So, anyway, could be concerned about money, and that's why the idea of, well, if you can get your message out to millions of people, and then you're only asking each of them a buck, that's why it's so tempting to think that way when you're talking about the internet. But if we remove the money part, the other part, the fact that you can reach out to so many people and perhaps ask something from many, many people that together might do something that no one person can do. That's what Gandhi was doing when he was telling people, become the change you seek in the world. You want a world that's safer? Well, pay more attention to safety. You want a world that's got more compassion? Work on being compassionate. You want more patience, more justice, more fun? Any of those things. Do it for yourself and those around you. And that is what you have the power, the control over that part of life. You can make decisions. Your decisions might not always be right, and even if you make very good decisions, there are powers beyond all of us that can result in things not working out. No matter, the best laid plans of mice and men. I don't know about mice, but any plans that we make can go awry. That was the way I used to think it was pronounced, A-W-R-Y, but I think it's awry, right? A pumpernickel, whole wheat, bialy. That's from a song from the 1960s. I forget what it's called. It's got two names, I think. One of them, in parentheses, is the hipster song, I think. And it's this guy who's cool, hip, and then it was hep, and then it turned into hip, and then it became hippie. But this was before hippies. This was more happies. No, nobody said the E, hippie or happy. No, that was later. So this guy, he goes downtown to see the man. I already had a little stuff on hand. I said, hey, oh no, I already had a little cash on hand. I said, hey fella, can you spare some bread? He says, oh yeah, we're welcome to anything that I got, man. I got a pumpernickel, rye, whole wheat, bialys, etc. See, no, forget about it. I said. I said, but oh, by the way, could you spare some pot? And that's the one. Oh, you're welcome, man, to anything that I got. I got steel pots, cast iron, brass, aluminum, Paul Revere, everything. What kind of pot do you want? And then I went down to this party, and I met this chick, and she was long and tall, and I asked her if, she'd care to have a ball. Baseball, soccer, basketball, pinball, etc. What, handball? Come on, baby. I just want to make it with you. Make what? She said. I said, a scene. I want to make a scene, And she goes, oh, Shakespeare, Clifford Odette, Arthur Miller, Pirandello. And I say, why don't we just book that? I think this is gonna work out, And then she says, just as I'm about to leave, by the way, I'm thinking, how do I get out of here, Because everybody here is so frick and unhip, And she says, you know what? I say, what? I'd like to make love to you, she says. Well, go, baby, go, I says, and I lean back and I close my eyes. And I wait, I'm waiting for her to come and kiss me, But she left.